This is 2008 Mercedes SLK Kompressor R171, and it is a special one as it is owned by my colleague Amar, and I would like to thank you for giving me this car for today's review. And she gave me the car after seeing the review of the BMW Z4, also owned by one of my colleagues, and she doesn't agree that that car is the best one or the best looking. So it looks promising that this car should prove vice versa, that still Mercedes are the best in the styling. I'm gonna walk you through a little bit of history related to this car model, the exterior, the interior. You're gonna drive the car with me, and in the end I'm gonna tell you my conclusion. Does this type of the model or this type of the car worth it even looking at it, and does it worth the money? The name of the Mercedes SLK derived from the German sportisch, that means sport, light, that means light, and as well Kurs, that means short. The first SLK 200 compressor was released in 1996 and it was produced until 2004. In 2016, the next model R172 was released, and the name of the SLK just stopped to even being used. It was renamed in SLC, and it is related to C-Class. The first Mercedes SLK of this model was introduced and appeared to the world in 1996 at the Turin Motor Show, and it is appeared as a modern incarnation of the Mercedes-Benz Roadster from 1950 190 SL. The SLK model from 2004 introduced also the air shaft option that is hitting your neck through the air vents, and it's keeping you warm while you're driving, even in the winter time with the rooftop off. And also, if you read the page of 128 of the user manual, it's a little bit dangerous to use this system air shaft. In the end, like, you never know how it will go wrong. The model featured a more compact, increased efficiency roof, and the mechanism of closing or putting back the roof was operating in 22 seconds instead of 25 seconds from the first generation SLK model, and as well the boot capacity increased by 63 liters. The additional Mercedes-Benz star is proudly displayed in the front of the car, and it is big. And I know there are a lot of people who are buying the Mercedes-Benz, not that they are the best cars in the world, but they are buying the Mercedes-Benz cars because of this big star in front of the car.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
The model offered generous legroom, and for my height of 1 meter 85 centimeters, I have plenty of room to drive in the car. But to be sincere, when I got first time in the car, I was thinking, oh, it's too small. But after to make some changes with the seats, and thanks God Mercedes is giving you this option, I would say that really there's a plenty of space for your legs and for your head to drive it without any issues. I would say that the car, based on the look and as well the features that different models of SLK are offering, I would say that the Mercedes-Benz is somehow, they are beating its competition, the BMW and as well the Audi TT. This Mercedes SLK 200 is coming with the 5-speed automatic gearbox, and I would say that this gearbox doesn't like the high revs. None of the Mercedes SLK love the high revs of it. And yes, the Mercedes-Benz is a small roadster, but it's standing out from the crowd because of the hard top roofline, and as well from some designs that were taken from the higher end SL Roadster class, and the comfort-orientated style of driving of this car that are not offered in the competitors' cars like the BMW Z4 and the Audi TT. The second generation of the Mercedes SLK that we have here borrowed the aggressive design from the McLaren SLK, and as well some graceful stance from the higher-end Mercedes SL. One of the main criticisms that the previous version of the Mercedes SLK received was that that car not giving the driving experience, the handling qualities as the dimension and the styling was suggesting it. But in 2008, the following criticisms appeared because the Mercedes-Benz solved the issues. In 2008, the Mercedes SLK was somehow in the middle cycle of the facelifting of the car. In general, how the facelifting are done. The automakers are changing some from bumper, a little bit in the back, and that's all, and the facelift is on and the car is released. But in this case, the Mercedes-Benz engineers, they developed around 650 components of the car, and as well they mounted the front bumper of the car that was inspired by the Formula 1. I would say that yes, I love this design, because this design, I'm more than sure that will stay for long period of time, and even after 10, 20, maybe 30 years, this car, if it will be in good condition, it will be considered as a classic, a car to have, a car to own, because they did a very good job. As well, you have the big star from the Mercedes that will show everyone what car you're driving and why you're driving it. And as well, on the bonnet, if you see here, we have two places that you'll think that are decorative, but no, they are not. They are used in order to cool down the engine. Also, what about the rear bumper? If you see, we have the same 4 parking sensors, and as well, the designers from 2008 made some changes as well with the design of this car. They introduced the lower splitters on the rear bumper that make the car look more powerful from the behind. You take it in conjunction with the tail lights that are in AMG style, and as well the trapezoidal exhaust pipes that we see here. But how the car sounded? Let me tell you about the rooftop. The rooftop, in comparison with the previous version, as I said, it came to 22 seconds in order to open it or to put it back, instead of 25 as it was previously. But unfortunately, the rooftop is occupying the boot space, but still you have plenty of space for modest weekend bags. In this case, the rooftop is off and you have a space of 206 liters. It's more than enough for small modern weekend bags, but nothing more. If you take out the roof and put it back, in this case you're gonna have the 300 liters that increased by 63 liters from the previous model. The engine is 1.8 liter petrol engine that is turbocharged, and it's giving you 184 horsepower. This engine was boosted with 21 horsepower from the previous generation, and as well it has 250 Newton per meter torque. Welcome to the Mercedes SLK 200 compressor interior space. As you see here, I'm sitting very comfortable, and as usual for these cars I have lumbar support that is keeping me very tight inside of the seats. What I like about this car especially is the double color interior. From one side you have the red leather seats and as well the door panels. From the other side you have the soft touch plastic that is on the panel, on the door panels, as well from the beneath. The central console that, by example, is very tough and very well made. All the car is moving if you're moving the central panel. And as well the piece of chrome that you'll have here and as well on the door handles that somehow will make you feel more special. Let's speak about the safety, because this is a roadster, we should speak about the safety. The 2002 model that had a crash test at the Euro Cup received only 4 stars out of 5, and for the pedestrians only 1 star out of 5. So I suppose that this is the second model, but I don't believe that Mercedes did a lot of things in order to receive the 5 stars rating out of 5. Most probably the 4 stars are more than enough. And in rest you have a passenger bag from the passenger side, from the driver's side, and as well you have side airbags that are mounted in the seats. As usual, the SLK model is coming in standard with dual zone control, except for the fact that you have the fresh air that is coming right above. In the end, if you drive with the rooftop on, in this case you can use the air conditioning. Air conditioning is coming from 6 vents, and it's very powerful, and it's cooling your soul when it's necessary, when it's 40 degrees outside. As well, you have the by standard the Bluetooth connectivity, and you can connect your phone and to answer or even call someone directly from the multimedia system. In 2008 the people were still smoking, and it still was a modern thing. You have the ashtray here and as well the cigarette lighter. We don't have it here as the owner is not smoking. And as well we have 2 cup holders that are mounted better than in BMW Z4. If you remember, there the cup holders weren't in their armrest, but here we have it right here above, and it's more convenient. The armrest is wonderful because when you open it, here's plenty of space. You put a lot of things inside, and as well you have another space to put some things that is right between the seats. By example, if to make it in comparison with the previous BMW Z4 review, there they had a net mounted between the seats, and there were more space between the seats and the back wall. But here, unfortunately, there's no space. Yes, there's no space, and you have only this. Do you have a lot of space in the glove box? To be sincere, not so. Today you also have the space to connect your phone or AirPods, connected it to your multimedia system that you can find it here. So about the multimedia system, if you can see it here, it's a little bit of dated because it passed already 12 years from the day when this multimedia was released, and unfortunately it looks dated. The screen is small, and it takes some time in order to understand how it works. In front, for the driver, you have the key space, you have the lights control, you have the cruise control that is mounted here, and somehow sometimes you can confuse it with the changing of the lane lights. And in rest you have the standard gauge display. From left you have the kilometers or the speed, and for the right side you have the revs. In the middle you have a small computer that's showing the current gear, and as well the speed, kilometers, liters of petrol spent in average, etc. About the keys, you have 3 options. One is to close the car, to unlock unlock the car, and as well you have the third option in order to unlock the boot. So if somehow you're staying in the car and you're too lazy to go outside to open it, just press the button and your passenger will go and take whatever is necessary from the boot. Door pockets. Door pockets are made out of material. They are made out of slab. The car is coming with 5-speed automatic gearbox. It's kind of a Tiptronic from the Audi. It's giving you also the option to move it to the drive and as well to drive it in manual mode. Also the car has the comfort and sport mode. In comfort is like all the time, you can see it here, but if you can press the S, it will be like in sport mode, and basically the sound of the engine should be a little bit differently than usual. As well, the car has two controls here. One control is exactly made for the roof to close it and to open it. Another button that you can disconnect the alarm system off while you're outside of the car, and if someone is in the car, just to be sure that alarm will not start by itself while someone is in the car and waiting for you to come back. And the meters that you have from the right and from the left side. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's drive together the Mercedes SLK-200 and to see how it is like to drive in the meanwhile on the road in Cyprus, or it doesn't matter where exactly you're going, but in a sunny day like this. Outside is around a lot of degrees. It's showing 31 degrees, but I do suppose that there are more than 31 degrees. Okay, so we are right now at the Hurion and we are going on the road to see how does it feel. 184 horsepower. And right from the beginning, when you're pressing the acceleration, yes, you do feel the power of the car, and it is not small. It's 184 horsepower and this 2-liter engine. And taking into consideration that this car have already 12 years, suppose that this car is not so easy breakable. I suppose that most probably is the same as the BMW Z4, that most probably you don't have anything what to be destroyed here. In the corners, like, it's handling very well. By example, I have plenty of power in order to enter in the corner and to continue my movement without any issues. We don't have cars. So the turning circle is fantastic. I have like nearly a few meters to turn, and I did it so fast. I even didn't experience this one with the BMW. So the previous BMW or even the BMW Z4, at least I was thinking, or gave me like it gave me the idea that the turning circle is even bigger than this one.
So this was the 2008 Mercedes-Benz SLK-200 compressor. Yes, this is a handsome roadster, and there are groups of people who will love to own such a car. But I think it is a small group. A group of people who need more of the weekend car or a car for themselves. Not very powerful, but just a little. Enough power in order to go until 100 kilometers in 7.9 seconds. Or a roadster where they can take off the roof and drive it on a sunny day without a roof. And no worries person who are looking for something different than an usual compact car, sedans or SUVs. Or the person who have no kids, or they do, but they sorted out their transportation through the help of another car. And should it be a good choice? Well, it could be, but it depends on the people and what they do want in the end. If they look for sportiness or driving experience as much as possible, then the SLK-200 is not their car, and maybe they should start looking for the BMW Z4. If the comfort is more a priority and a two-seater for themselves, then this car will be a wonderful addition to your cars that you already own. And based on that, it is time to give the Mercedes-Benz SLK-200 compressor the Victorioso Score. So now let's speak more about the average score that the car received. According to the exterior category, I think in our new realities and based on how the new cars look, how fast is the car, maybe for that age was fast enough with 7.9 seconds until 100 kilometers. Now already not so. It can be considered as a fun car, but in a limited way of saying, as the retractable rooftop make a big difference from our cars. But not so many others, it is a cool roadster. But not in that way that is turning heads. No, unfortunately it's not turning any more heads, except for the fact that it's a roadster with a big Mercedes-Benz star on the bonnet. It is not a small consumption car, and in order to drive it you need to refill it around 9-11 liters of petrol per 100 kilometers. In the end, SLK-200 Mercedes-Benz remain with a total exterior score category and for the daily weekly life experience category. Unfortunately, for the car safety for the Iran Cup, the car received only 4 stars out of 5 and 1 star out of 5 for the pedestrian. Based on the fact that it's a roadster, is this car practical for a day-by-day task? If you go only to shops, then yes, but if not, forget about the additional storage space. Unfortunately, for the space the boot is offering, it cannot be used as our cars, and all the time you need to think about it, that you need to travel lighter. Car is already 12 years old, and it's a little bit outdated with what is offering and the way they did it. Comfort is okay for 2008, and that has a lumbar support. But the seat starts to be way better nowadays, so the build quality is okay, everything is done properly, but the harsh sun is already destroying the parts of the plastic seats and wheel. Around 10k euro, you can buy now such a car. Does it worth it? You should decide based on your needs, but from my side, it will receive a 3 out of 10. And in the end, for the daily weekly life experience category, car received 25 out of 70. And for the total exterior and daily weekly life experience categories features, Mercedes-Benz SLK-200 compressor from 2008 received 44 out of 130 points, but being the first car to be part of this category. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hit subscribe, like and notification bell in order not to miss any other videos. Cheers, see you at the next video.